to make two, so now I make two and give one to you. Till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food. When you make choices, they also make you. Share the wealth beyond yourself and stay cool.
Welcome to Me, Myself, and Liberty. I'm Leslie Nesmith, and I have a great show for you today. I have Commissioner Kevin Calvey joining me in the first half, and a new special guest, Aaron Brilbeck, formerly from Channel 9, will be joining me for the second half. So you'll have to tune in for that. Make sure you tag your friends and share this. Also, while you wait, head on over to my page, Me, Myself, and Liberty on Facebook, and make sure you like it and follow it. Also, don't forget to go to patreon.com/OTUmedia. That is a great way to support us here. You can buy stuff, or you can just donate money and help pay for all of this. We appreciate you, and I will be right back with Kevin Calvey.
Used to make two, so now I make two and give one to you. Till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food. When you make choices, they also make you.
Hello, basket of deplorables, ladies, gentlemen, those who are undecided. Todd Tucker back at the bunker where I belong. And we want you to join us here at OTUmedia. Become a patron, a Patreon member. If you want true conservative messaging and not the same old corporate filtered news of Oklahoma, this is the place to be. Become a supporter, a soldier, a sergeant, a co-producer, even a sponsor. True conservatism lives here at OTUmedia. Go to patreon.com/OTUmedia, patreon.com/OTUmedia. This is where conservatism lives, and the fight is just beginning.
Introducing all new, safe, natural relief. A cannabinoid-rich, clarity and focus formula with 17 essential supplements. When it matters most, you've got a job to do. Anxiety isn't an option. Programmed to keep you moving. A product exclusively manufactured for Active Duty RX by Cantech Labs.
So now I make two and give one to you. Till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food. When you make choices, they also make you. Share the wealth beyond yourself and stay cool.
Welcome back to Me, Myself, and Liberty. And as you can see, Commissioner Kevin Calvey is joining me today.
Hi, Leslie. How are you?
Good. And I want to remind the audience to please go to patreon.com/OTUmedia. That is a great way to support us and what we do here, getting the real news, not the fake news out there, because there's a lot of that going on right now.
Seems like.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So I'm excited to have you here. You've had a whole lot of action going on lately, so I just want you to tell us what's going on with your office.
Okay, sure. So at the county, the big issue right now is, I think everybody knows for decades there's been a lot of neglect of the physical plant of the county jail. We finally got a jail trust in. We fired the soon-to-be former sheriff, P.D. Taylor, as the operator of the jail, and then actually, fortunately, incoming Sheriff Tommy Johnson was able to defeat him and then go on to win the general election. So we're, all things firing on all cylinders there. The next step really is getting as much money as possible to the jail for physical repairs. You see, what happened over 25 years, Leslie, is B.D. Taylor and his former boss, John Wetzel, were given money to maintain the jail and just didn't spend a lot of other stuff. Military vehicles that look great in parades, but do nothing for actual law enforcement. Many other things that were not really necessary expenditures. So I do think there would be better management of the sheriff's office now. The fault is not with the rank and file guys at the sheriff's office. The vast majority of them are fine folks. No, I think with better leadership, we'll have an Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office that we are really going to be proud of. But we're left with this, problem of all that deferred maintenance, and so getting some money in there is very, very important. It's the next step. So at this point, we, how do you get that money? Okay. So, one option that's been suggested in the past is a tax increase. If ever that was a good idea, it certainly is not now.
Yeah.
When you have, I'm very confident the voters would not approve one.
No.
And even if you did, because of some jurisdictions shutting down businesses, Oklahoma County, by the way, never did, but the city of Oklahoma City did, for instance, in other places, businesses were hurt by those shutdowns, and therefore you have less revenue coming in. Even if you enacted a tax increase, you have less revenue coming in than you would otherwise. Also, the voters just approved the MAPS 4, and so if we were to pass a tax on top of that, that would put us one of the highest sales tax rates in the nation. I think up there with Chicago. That's not where we want to be.
No.
So as a result, I think that option is not really very practical at this point. So how do you get money in? Well, enter the CARES Act. Everything we would want to do to the most immediate things to fix up our jail, also make that jail more COVID resistant. Yeah. And if you think about it, a jail, any jail, is one of the biggest spreaders of COVID in that area. Yeah. And our jail is no different. I mean, you have a less healthy than usual population going through there. They're in and out. Our employees go home every night, so getting control of that is very important. And the way the jail was built, I think many people know about some design issues from the early 90s. Obviously, we can't solve all those problems with these funds, but we can use, by a combination of outbuildings and reconfigurations, our CARES Act money could indeed go to solving at least some of those problems. So there's been a fight where I have urged that we take care of our business first, right? If you're on an airplane, they say put your own mask on first before you help others. Well, we need to take care of our own thing that the county has responsibility for. In fact, the only entity that has responsibility for our jail. Federal government's not going to give us money for our jail. The state government's not going to give us money for the jail. Cities aren't. So we need to take care of our business first. But there are others, some left-wing activists who have urged that instead of spending money on other things that will only benefit a tiny fraction of our population, maybe 1% or less of our state's population, or the county's population. Yeah. Whereas the jail benefits literally every single person in the county.
That is so true, and you've said that. I've heard you say that several times, and I don't know that people fully understand that. It does. It affects every single person in Oklahoma County.
Sure. I mean, if you don't have a jail, a well-functioning jail, you want rapists and murderers walking around your neighborhood? I mean, I understand the desire for pretrial justice reform, and to some extent I agree with that. I think that I don't want people in jail for missing court on the traffic ticket, for instance. I don't think that's a good use of jail. It's not fiscally responsible. It's not fiscally conservative. But there are no fooling dangerous people that absolutely need to be locked up, even pre-trial. They're that dangerous. And I think the vast majority of citizens would agree with that. Yeah. In fact, ironically, some of the same people arguing to divert money away from the jail to other things that the county's never done before. Rental assistance, business grants, this sort of thing that will only, again, benefit a tiny fraction of the county's population. There's some of those people that also talk about how bad conditions in the jail are. Well, duh. If you want to change the conditions in the jail, you're going to have to take the funds that you already have and devote it to that. So there's been some back and forth on that. I've been mostly successful thus far, and hope to be successful in getting our remaining funds to our jail to fix that. And so that's where we're at. But every time we have a meeting, We have these, the bullies with bullhorns come down.
It's like Jerry Springer.
It's terrible.
I mean, you could sell tickets to this.
You just about could. And the problem is, they don't have this problem in, say, Oklahoma City and other places, because what we have is the incumbent sheriff's office just refuses to do anything about it.
Yeah.
And hopefully that will change again after the first of the year when we have a new sheriff. But the current sheriff's office seems to enjoy causing, that kind of chaos. And I want to stress this: it's not the deputies that work in the building; they're good people. It's their higher ups that got defeated in the election. They're allowing this to happen, and that's unfortunate. But hopefully that situation will come around after the first of the year. But for now, these people come in, and you got to really be in the room. You were in the room for the first time the other day.
Yeah.
It's shocking. When you see it on TV, it maybe just look like there's people in the room. But there are people shouting the F-bomb at you.
Yeah, they are.
And, just flat out telling slanderous lies about you while you're trying to talk.
I didn't know you were a billionaire.
Yeah,
somebody was shouting that Kevin Calvey, you're a billionaire. Let's check your bank account. And I'm going, wait a minute, I'm in the wrong business if he's a billionaire.
Right, exactly. Yeah, no, I'm not. So at any rate, again, just taking care of really the core function of county government. I mean, the county does 4 things, and nobody else does these 4 things. It's having a jail, doing a courthouse, having rural roads, and rural law enforcement. Nobody else does those 4 things. Only we do them. We did spend some money on the courthouse, and that's appropriate. Public goes down there. We want to clean, make it, sanitize, etc. That was a small amount of our money. And then we need to be spending the rest of that on our jail before we go doing things that the county's never done before. Which, by the way, these other things, business grants and number one, you're not going to give it to every business. Is that the government kind of picking and choosing winners in the marketplace?
Yeah.
So that ought to be a concern. But even if you get over that, it's just not something the county does, and it's something that's already being done. The federal government has money for that. The state has money for that. The federal government has money directly for nonprofits that they can apply for. So let those other entities deal with those things.
Yeah.
And lets us take care of our core functions. So that's the battle right now, and there are people who don't want to do that. In fact, the same people trying to argue we shouldn't put money in the jail are saying tear it down. In other words, they don't want a jail at all. And it is the same people who argue for defunding the police, who want to abolish ICE. It's the same people. Many of them have criminal records themselves.
Yeah.
That are coming down and trying to bully us at our county meetings. So what I would urge is that for the public to know that let's take care of the core functions of government before we go do any other things with our money, and particularly when it comes to public safety, which the jail does. So,
yeah, it does. It does. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
So now I make 2 and give 1 to you till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great.
Hey everybody, Todd Tucker here. Are you tired of Big Mobile making deals with dirty DC politicians to amplify liberals and silence conservatives like you? Do you want the same quality of service that you get from your current provider without supporting leftist, anti-American subversives like Kendra Horn and Nancy Pelosi? Well, Patriot Mobile can help you, and they can make a great deal. Ask what Patriot Mobile can do for you, and ask what Patriot Mobile can do for your country. Call Patriot Mobile today at 877-367-7524. 877-367-7524. Be a patriot. Join Patriot Mobile.
Introducing all new, safe, natural relief. A cannabinoid-rich, clarity and focus formula with 17 essential supplements. When it matters most, you've got a job to do. Anxiety isn't an option. Programmed to keep you moving. A product exclusively manufactured for Active Duty RX by Cantech Labs.
So now I make 2 and give 1 to you till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food. When you make choices, they also make you. Share the wealth beyond yourself and stay cool.
Welcome back to Me, Myself, and Liberty. Okay, so I want to get your take on the elections and the outcomes, not the presidential election. I don't want to talk about that. Sore subject right now. But let's talk about, we've got a new sheriff.
Yeah,
I'm happy about that.
Let's talk about our local races. So Republicans did very well here locally. And of course, congratulations to Congresswoman-elect Stephanie Bice.
Yes.
And then our county races did fantastic.
Yeah.
Polls were showing about a month out that people generally, 57% of the public is very happy with county government. And the election results showed that.
Yeah.
Our county officials that were up for election actually outpolled President Trump and Congressman Bice. So congratulations again to our court clerk Rick Warren and our county clerk David Hooten for getting reelected, and Commissioner Brian Maughan. And then the really exciting one is our new sheriff, Tommy Johnson.
Yes.
And I was very proud to have supported Sheriff Johnson all the way through. I mean, primary,
Yes.
Runoff, and the general election. And he's going to be a fantastic sheriff. There's been a problem for some time with the sheriff's office with low morale.
Yeah.
Because of the mismanagement of P.D. Taylor and John Wetzel before him. I visited with Sheriff Johnson about some of his goals on what to do. He's indicated to me he's interested in body cams.
Yes, I think that's
and
great.
raising pay for especially starting officers, and those are some things that I'd like to be able to help him with. There are some cost efficiencies that probably can be had at the sheriff's office, but I think that we'll do what we can to help him in his efforts to do that. I think that's important. Like I said, my quarrel was always with P.D. Taylor and a few of the handful of people at the top of his department, and not with the rank and file members of the sheriff's office. I love cops. I worked with cops every day when I was in Iraq for a year, Army CID cops, Navy NCIS, etc. And I've probably got 36 clients who are over the years who are police officers, retired police officers, retired FBI, etc. So we look forward to a much better working relationship between the commissioners and other elected officials and the sheriff's office with Sheriff Johnson there. And he's a great guy. He's going to be a fantastic sheriff. He's got a great background, and will be a sheriff we can be proud of for a change.
He is so, it's funny, I was watching the debates, and he is so laid back. And I told him, I said, if you were any more relaxed in that debate, you would have just melted into the chair. He just looked like he was just so relaxed. And I think that's a good thing. It says a lot about his temperament and,
Right.
So I'm excited about that. I think it's been a long time coming. And, anyone who has, friends or family who work for the sheriff's department at the jail, this is a huge thing. This is going to be great. This is going to be great.
I've had deputies tell me over the last couple of years since I've been in office that, hey man, I'd like to get with you and talk to you about some things. You're on the right track, but I'm terrified because they'll fire me if they start talking to you. Well, that's a terrible atmosphere to have.
It is.
And I think that that's the fault of, again, P.D. Taylor and a few of his top people. And but the average rank and file deputy and most of the people over there can be fine and will be just here to do a good job. And I appreciate them very much.
Yeah, I do too. So, anything else going on with your office or with the?
Just building roads and taking constituents. So.
I love your videos. For a billionaire, you sure do spend a lot of time out there, working.
Yeah, I wish I was. Yeah. Our road crews are great. They do a great job. Obviously, we had to trim trees on the roads after the ice storm. And, I even took a turn in they call the boom axe, which is kind of fun to operate those things. My kids love it when I take them out to go watch the stuff. So it's great. But road crews do a fantastic job, and so thanks to all the guys and gals out there. So.
I know we lost a lot of trees. Oh my goodness, we got one of those giant roll-off containers for our house. Mine and my neighbor, we went in together, and they said, you probably won't even fill it up. We filled up the entire thing and then filled up a second one just between our two houses.
Yeah. There's a lot of damage to that. So anyway, we're glad to be helping folks. So.
Yes. Well, tell the audience. I know they all probably know you and know where to find you, but just in case, you've got a Facebook page, and where else can they find you?
So at Commissioner Calvey is the Facebook handle, and office number is 713-1503, and emails kevincalvey@oklahomacounty.org. And we're always happy to visit with folks. Obviously, gotten a lot of calls, with the ice storm and working with people on that. And we're here to serve.
Well, something I just want to say too is I appreciate how accessible you are to the public. You're very transparent, and I know you take a lot of heat, and you've got a lot of hate out there. There were a lot of F-bombs thrown your way this meeting that I was in.
That's the shocking thing is how they're getting away with that kind of stuff. But the lack of willingness in the current sheriff's office, outgoing sheriff's office, to do something about it. But I'll just wear that like a badge of honor. These are if you're being hated on by the extreme left, means you're doing something right.
Yeah, that's right. You're in good company.
Indeed.
All right. Well, thanks for joining me today.
Yeah,
and
thanks, Leslie.
I will be right back.
Used to make do, so now I make two and give one to you. Till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food. When you make choices, they also make you. Share the wealth beyond yourself and stay cool.
Hey everybody, Todd Tucker here, and everyone who knows me knows I love to read a great book, and right now I'm reading this incredible novel by local author Richard Engel. All you have to do is go to LastAmericanPresident.com and say big right now in this book. The Last American President is a story about political intrigue, romance, betrayal set against the backdrop of the dissolution of the United States of America. It's great reading, and when you go to LastAmericanPresident.com, use the promo code OTU, you're going to save money. And not only that, but half the price comes back to OTU. So half the proceeds from this book come back so you can watch great programming like you see on the OTU Media Network every day. LastAmericanPresident.com, I highly recommend this book. Read it today.
What's going on, guys? Moto with OTUmedia here, back at the bunker, the Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite Studios. I usually try not to film on Sundays. I have to take a break sometimes, but I had to sit down and give a shout out to and a plug for a product that absolutely saved my life last night. We carry it on the OTU store at OklahomaTaxpayersunite.com/OTU-store, or you can just go to the website. You can find it in the tabs on the very top left-hand corner. You'll find the OTU store. It's the ADRX Night Ops. And, if you guys watch the shows, I've told you that I haven't done a good job of incorporating it into my routine yet. I take the Clarity and Focus every single day. So you can get a month's supply of the ADRX Clarity and Focus on the website as well. If you get a bottle, that's going to last you a full month. There's 30 capsules in the bottle. But last night I was in desperate need of sleep. I had a terrible ache in my neck. I was starting to feel that cortisol response and that stress response, and my muscles were tensing up. So the problem was perpetuating itself. So I went in, I grabbed a bottle of Night Ops out of the cabinet. I took 2 of them because, like I said, I wasn't messing around. I was trying to attain victory by superior firepower, and it worked. I slept like a baby. if you take the ADRX supplements already, you know that about 5 or 6 minutes after you take it, you can kind of taste the release. They're powerful supplements. All natural, though. Hemp-derived, but THC-free. Incredible products. Nootropics, all natural. Amazing. But you can kind of taste it release. And I was comfortable. I slept all the way through the night. This morning, the sun came up and the birds were chirping, and I couldn't believe it. My neck felt better. I was ready to get up and get after it. I had a cup of coffee, took my daily active duty RX Clarity and Focus, and I said, you know what, I'm going to have to sit down and tell people to get on the website and buy this product. And I'm going to incorporate it into my regular routine now, because I like to go. You know, I'm a hard charger. You guys know that about me. But getting good, restful sleep in a regular, healthy manner is going to help anyone operate at their best. And I owe that to you guys. I owe that to the state and the country and our incredible president, who is doing a fantastic job. So if he, at 70 plus years old, can get up and get with it and try to save our country every day, then I better be doing my best as well. And that you guys, that goes for the same for you. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and commit to both products on the website. You can get the 30-day supply of the Clarity and Focus or the Night Ops, and we have a week sample pack as well. So you can get a 7-day supply of the Clarity and Focus and the Night Ops. So you take one of these a day, the Clarity and Focus in the morning and the Night Ops at night. In fact, I'm going to talk to Bryce, and we're going to get a combo pack. Maybe I can get with Kyle from ADRX and get us a discount going on our lot prices or something like that. But I'll get a combo pack put together, and then that way you guys can try both of these products out. And I swear by them. I know when you try them, you guys are definitely going to have the same experience. So thank you guys for tuning in. As always, thank you to our patrons at patreon.com/OTUmedia. The monthly subscriptions there is what keeps the fire burning here, and the purchases that you make on the website. So go buy these products. Go buy Foundations for Liberty by Matt Moore. The Trump hats there and the Trump flags. Every purchase goes to support the mission here at Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite. You can also find us on YouTube, Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite. There's a store there that also helps support what we do here. There's a couple different products on there, some fanny packs and stickers and stuff. So check it all out, guys. As always, I appreciate you. This is Moto, out.
Used to make two, so now I make two and give one to you. Till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food.
Welcome back to Me, Myself, and Liberty. And as you can see, I have a very special guest today. Aaron Brilbeck is joining me. Thank you.
Leslie, thank you for having me.
I am starstruck.
No reason. Your standards are way too low.
You know, my dad used to say that.
I tell my girls that all the time.
Yes. Okay, so for the audience, I want to remind you to please go to OklahomaTaxpayersUnite.com. Check out our store there. All kinds of cool stuff, from our books, coffee mugs, mouse pads, all kinds of things. You can support us that way. Yes, and some supplements there. That'll
cool. What is it?
Yes, that is a supplement. Moto takes it. So if you've ever wondered, it gives you energy and enhances your concentration, your memory. It's fantastic. Would you like it to build muscle? I'll tell you it does. If you want to buy some. There you go. All right. See, we just need to take a picture of you holding this, and then we'll just let people assume that, you know.
That's what builds muscle.
Yeah.
And the juice that I take. Yeah.
That's right. That's right. So thanks for joining me today. You've had a lot going on, huh?
Been kind of busy. We'll address the elephant in the room. I no longer work for News 9. They let me go this past week. Let's just call it philosophical differences in terms of how news is reported and how it should be reported.
Yeah. Well, their loss.
Well, thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
That said, was able to do a lot of great work while we were there. Met a lot of fantastic people. As you know, I cover the Capitol. Been a lot of changes at the state Capitol with this election. Republicans picked up 5 new seats in the House. Been a lot of changes within the county government. We've got our first ever African-American sheriff.
Yes, we do.
Tommy Johnson III. Had the opportunity to interview him a few different times.
Me too. Hey.
I like him.
Yeah, I do too.
What do you think? What were your initial thoughts?
I like him. He's so. I was telling Kevin Calvey that he's just so laid back. I mean, he is very relaxed. He never. He didn't seem nervous about anything. He was so confident. I like that he's younger. I think that that's great, and he'll be around for a long time. So
and he's
like
a thinker. When you talk to him,
Yeah.
you can see the wheels are turning. You can see that he's understanding, he's getting what it is that you're saying, and coming up with answers. And I like that a lot about him. He and I talk. I do a bit of fighting also, and he and I talked a bit about different holds that he wants to talk about eliminating. And police have come under fire a lot, especially since we saw that horrible video of a guy being kneeled on as he died. But as it turns out, the guy had more fentanyl on him that they could kill an elephant. But Tommy's talking about ways of changing the way that police do holds and so forth. But certain chokeholds are used quite a bit in fighting. And honestly, when somebody's swinging on you or might have a knife or something, you got to do whatever you can to protect yourself. Even if that means putting on a chokehold that may be considered illegal within your department. So it's going to be, I think, a challenge for him, coupled with, I heard what Kevin Calvey was saying in terms of the morale at the sheriff's department is low.
Yeah, it is.
It's gonna be a chore for him to get that back up to where it needs to be. Anytime there's a change of leadership, obviously there are concerns about morale. He'll have to address that quickly. He'll have to address quickly. And one thing that I'm pretty fond of that he mentioned too is he wants body cameras for all police officers. I'm a big fan of body cameras. Cameras don't lie. So I think it'll be an interesting time for him.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of cameras too. That's my real job is security cameras. So I know a little bit about that.
Done this once or twice.
Yeah. So what do you think about the other wins for our state and our county? So
in terms of the House of Representatives, for example, we're not going to see a big change there. The Democrats really didn't have a whole lot of power to begin with, and now they're kind of relegated to a broom closet someplace in the state capitol. So I don't think we're going to see too many changes. What we are going to see is a tremendous amount of challenges. This COVID-19 thing has decimated our savings. It's decimated our tax base. We, for years and years, have been talking about the same thing at the Capitol, that we can't keep putting our eggs into one basket. And what do we do year after year? Put all of our eggs into the oil basket every single year. So when we've got good years like we had last year and we were able to save a few bucks, we immediately have to spend those dollars too. Whereas I'd like to see us, while I'm a huge fan of the oil base, and we need to have that oil base here, and yes, we're all in favor of drilling. Are you listening, President-elect Biden? We're all in favor of drilling. We need to drill here. Our economy is based on it here in Oklahoma. I'd also like to see us spread out and do a lot more. There's so much more potential for businesses here in Oklahoma. We've got a well-educated base here. We've got people who are about as loyal as any people you're ever going to meet. Oklahoma's a really good state to live in. You know this. Now we just have to tell the world. And
That's
we got to start drawing new industry here so that we're not just an oil state, but maybe we're an oil/automotive state, or oil/tourism state, or oil/fill-in-the-blank state. We need to do more to try to broaden our breadbasket.
Oh, yeah. And we're perfectly located for that. I mean, just right in the center of the United States. Perfect. So, hey, you can come to the state of Oklahoma and bring your business and move here. Well, we want the conservatives to move here, though. So we'll have to think about that.
Conservatives or liberals, their money's just as green as far as I'm concerned.
We just don't want to swing our vote too much.
No, the money's just as green. And honestly, with the trucking industry being one of the crossroads of the United States, and that's what Amazon learned pretty quickly. Putting up a hub here. Why aren't we seeing other hubs being built here? That's the kind of thing that we need. And granted, we're not getting a whole lot of jobs out of that, but we are getting a whole lot of ad valorem taxes.
Oh, yeah.
So why not take advantage of that? We've got so much land here in Oklahoma that's just sitting unused. Let's start using it. And honestly, I think the mayor in Oklahoma City and Mayor Tulsa are both doing pretty good jobs of trying to draw business here. I think that it was smart of the lieutenant governor to be placed in charge of drawing new business here. But I want to see more. I mean, with COVID, we're really proving to ourselves again, we're relying way too much on taxes from oil and gas.
Yeah.
And we can't rely on that anymore.
No. And these shutdowns have to stop. The lockdowns, I don't know where you stand on that. I can assume where you stand on that. But I have a real problem with these shutdowns, and I guess now the governor has said that on the government property or state property that you have to wear a mask, and I'm not very excited about that because I have to go on to government property quite a bit. So, and I don't do the mask thing, so I've got to find a workaround there. So,
but honestly, all things in moderation. Can we obliterate COVID-19 if all of us stay home in our little hidey holes? Absolutely, we probably may be able to. Who knows? If none of us have contact with anybody else 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, then eventually we'll probably do away with it.
Yeah, and we'll also stop, having any kind of population because there'll be no more interacting amongst people.
And the suicide rates will be up.
Oh,
We've already seen that. Alcoholism rates up. We've already seen that.
We've all been touched by that.
Yeah.
I mean, I know of people who have just people, friends, family, people that have struggled with depression, being alone, their businesses being impacted. My business has been impacted by it. And like you said, the alcoholism, suicide rates. I mean, it's terrible. The cure is definitely worse than the disease itself in this case.
Can you imagine being elderly, living in a home for like an assisted living home, and knowing that your days are numbered, but you can't hug your grandkids? Is that hug more important to you than going to the ground a few days early?
Exactly.
To me, absolutely it is. And then, to me, the most disturbing thing is the rate of child abuse has dropped dramatically.
Yeah.
It's way, way, way down. Hey, that's good news, less child abuse, right? No, all it means is that fewer people, the people who ordinarily were reporting it, are no longer able
That's
to report
right.
it. Your teachers, your people who work with kids, your boys clubs, your Boy Scouts, your Girl Scouts, the people who ordinarily see it and turn it in aren't there to do it. So what does that mean? Does it mean that child abuse is stopping? No. It means that the kiddos who are being abused, generally by people in their families, are being abused that much more and have no help to turn to. That's a problem.
Yeah. Just the long-term effects of this is we're not going to know for maybe years.
Right.
It's really, really tragic.
No, I was hoping with the announcement of a vaccine, we'd start to see some changes.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the announcement of that vaccine coincides with the announcement of another surge.
Yes.
So,
yeah. No conspiracy theories here, but maybe it was planned. I don't know. Okay, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back.
So now I make two and give one to you till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food. When you make choices, they also make you share the wealth beyond yourself.
With being able to secure victory, again, thank you. Truly a tremendous feat accomplished, and like I told you throughout the whole campaign, I'm working for you guys. I'm working for Oklahoma County. I'm trying to make this a safer place. I'm trying to make this a better place to live. I'm trying to have better relationships with every culture involved. I want to be better stewards of the county resources. These are all things that I ran on, that I believe in, and that I'm going to give to you. And thank you for giving me the opportunity and believing in me, that we can go and do this together and make these a great 4 years for Oklahoma County Sheriff's Office.
Amen. Okay, that was awesome. Thank you, Mama. Next up, we have a gal who does a show called Me, Myself, and Liberty. Leslie Mason.
It's always great to follow Moto. He's so motivated. Everybody, I can talk about censorship. I recently learned that apparently I am a very dangerous person. I was outed on the Lost Oval as a dangerous person for talking about the potential of a civil war. Who knew? Interesting that the Democrats have been talking about that for a while if our president were to be reelected. Along with several other patriots who do Facebook Lives and that sort of thing, on election night, I was censored. I went to do my Facebook Live while at the GOP celebration, and guess what happened? It said that I was posting dangerous content, and therefore I was getting censored. We're going to have more of this. We can depend on this. If there's one thing we can depend on right now, until we overturn the results of this election, is that we are going to be censored. All right?
I'm used to seeing you with your
What
hair
I'm going to tell
down.
you to do is, please join the alternative platforms like Parler, like News.
Who's here?
Okay?
Shinja, and then all the legislators are up here, so I don't know whoever's up here so far. They haven't spoke yet.
You can find me there. And also, keep in mind, Google is not our friend. When you are looking up what next gun you want to purchase or where you can buy ammo, don't do that on Google. Use an alternative service like DuckDuckGo, for instance, okay? I want to encourage all of you to go to my page. I've started a list of these alternative services that we can use. Please add them there. If you are a local patriot who does a podcast or a show like I do, please go onto my page and post it. Because our local media, do we have any local media here? Do we have any honest local media here? Okay, our local media has taken the path straight to the toilet. Okay? We need to start holding them accountable. They are now the purveyors of fake news here in Oklahoma. So the best thing that we can do is support our local podcasters, like Sean, the Oklahoma Taxpayers Unite, Red River TV. These are local people here who are going to tell you the truth. We've got to stay in front of our fellow patriots, and we've got to keep the word out there. The media is going to be doing
Brian
more
Hawes.
silencing in the next
He's the one who's
now.
organized
Today,
this.
yesterday, weeks ago, months ago. It's going to get worse, okay? We've got to get the word out there. They're going to make us sound like we're crazy conspiracy theorists. We're not. No, it's not just beginning. All right. So I do have some good news for you. So if you're a believer, then you know that God is still on the throne. But please refrain from saying things like this. Let's just let Biden have the presidency. Let's not do that. God is on the throne, but he's calling for each and every person here to do your part. We cannot be complacent. And we need to come together as a party, as conservatives, as Republicans, as anyone who supports our president, and we've got to get behind him and we've got to be vocal about it, okay? Buy your guns and ammo now. Just in case. Quick announcement. President Trump is pulling ahead in Arizona. And with the lawsuits in Michigan, Pennsylvania, and soon to come Georgia as well, we may see all of this roll back very quickly, which is going to be beautiful. Remember to support the local businesses. A lot of us that own local businesses, we have been impacted by the China virus and the shutdown. So do what you can to support local businesses, and also please go to my Facebook page that's there for now. Be Myself in Liberty, and check me out there, okay? All right, thank you guys.
So now I make two and give one to you till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food. When you make choices, they also make you.
Welcome back to Me, Myself, and Liberty, and I want to remind you to visit us on YouTube and check out our store because we have stuff for sale everywhere. You can buy coffee cups, mouse pads. Hey, that's a great gift for Christmas, right?
Also supplements?
Yeah, supplements.
Cool.
That's right.
I want to talk about your butt.
Oh no, you said it. Okay,
I want to talk about your hiney.
I have the most famous hiney apparently in Oklahoma. So we're looking at it now. A terrible picture. But I was at the county commissioners meeting this past week, and the only thing you could see was my backside. Granted, my hair was in the picture too, and some people recognized me from my hair. And I had people messaging me saying, "Hey, oh gosh, oh that's up close."
So that was from US
Stop
News
it.
and World Report. The Associated Press had it on there. I know we've had it on News 9 a few different
Yes,
times.
we need to. Oh gosh, take that picture off the screen.
One famous Heidi.
We at least need to do some like photoshopping or something. Come on.
No, we're looking at the butt stock.
Yes.
The butt stock.
There
Yeah,
it
that's
is.
it. The butt stock.
Well, it's funny because, so that picture made it all over the place. I have friends from out of state who were sending me that picture. That's saying awesome. you were here it is again. So then
I guess those jokes were just tongue in cheek.
Oh God. So it appeared in another article recently. So there it was again. But then the county commissioners meeting, I had people saying, "Hey, I saw you on the news." I'm going, how did they know that was me? I never faced the camera.
Makes you wonder how many people are checking out your backside.
I don't even want to know. But
Makes you
you know what
wonder.
made me feel better? I did have a friend that said, "I recognized your voice." I was like, oh, of course, my voice.
And by voice, they mean...
My voice, I don't know. That, the voice,
Anyhow, very nice
Yeah.
AR-15.
Thank you.
I just now noticed it was there.
Yeah. Oh, God. Okay, so now we need to talk about something else. Let's talk about your nonprofits that you're involved with.
Involved in a couple of different things.
Yeah.
I'm on the board of directors for Ride Oklahoma Charities, which is a locally run 501c3. It's a motorcycle group, and we do charity rides pretty much every weekend throughout the year. So we'll do rides ranging from 20 to 30 motorcycles to the largest that we partake in is the Ride to Remember, which will have a couple thousand motorcycles every year to honor those who died in the bombing. So we do different fundraisers, generally for 501c3s, oftentimes for people who are just in need. We'll raise anywhere from a few $100 to a few $1,000s. We've got a board of directors that oversees it, and mostly it's just a bunch of people who enjoy motorcycles and enjoy helping people. And it's pretty cool. If you want to check it out on Facebook, it's Ride Oklahoma Charities, and look me up. If you got a motorcycle, I'd love to do some riding with you.
That's what I need to do. I've been saying I want to buy another motorcycle. My friend and neighbor, he's been, sending me links to motorcycles because he rides, so he wants us to be able to go ride. But I'm like, if you're going to raise money, that's the way to do it. If you can just get out and ride and raise money.
And generally, it's about $20 per bike, so it's pretty affordable.
Yeah.
We'll go around, we'll hit some different restaurants, maybe hit a couple of different bars, just patronize local businesses, and kind of spend a day hanging out and riding together. And I can't think of a better way to try to raise money for folks who need it.
Yeah. So what else are you involved with?
Also involved in the Guardian Angels, and we kind of put a little hold on that temporarily. I'll get into that for in just a minute. But what the Guardian Angels are, I'm a native New Yorker. Don't hold that against me. I'm a native New Yorker. Yeah. I tell people I'm a recovering New Yorker. And the Guardian Angels started in New York on the subways back in 1977. And it was started by a gentleman who was a guy named Curtis Sliwa. And he was a manager at a McDonald's in one of the worst parts of the Bronx. And he found pretty early on that a lot of his customers, especially older customers, they would come in to buy coffee, and as they're coming in, they're all covered in blood because they're getting mugged on the trains. And so he would start walking them from the trains to McDonald's along with several volunteers, and found out that they weren't getting mugged. So there's safety in numbers, it works. But what he found out was happening is once they got on the trains, they were getting mugged. Now keep in mind, this is the late 70s, early 80s in New York, so it was a pretty tough place. So they started patrolling the subways with red berets and signature white t-shirts with red lettering that says Guardian Angels, and started getting more and more members, mostly teenage kids, and learned pretty quickly that you can stop crime without having to be a police officer, without having to carry weapons, merely by your presence, and when necessary, by taking down bad guys. And that's how the Guardian Angel started. And now here we are in 2020. We've got chapters all over the world. We've got them in Japan. We've got them in Mexico. We've got them here in the United States. Had a chapter started here in Oklahoma City. Unfortunately, one of our members was murdered. A good friend of mine, he was killed in his house along with his fiancee and their 16-year-old daughter, killed execution style. We don't believe it was tied to the Guardian Angels, but because of that, it went away for a little bit.
We need more of that. I mean, the Guardian Angels. That's what we need.
If I stay here in Oklahoma City, we'll probably restart a chapter here because you really kind of need it. It's people. What makes it work is you're not bringing in outsiders into communities telling people how to live. We recruit from the communities that need us. Those people are already known within those areas. We don't carry any weapons. And we have the time that we can sit down and talk with somebody before a small problem becomes a major problem. So if we see two teenage kids scrapping out in the street, we'll split them up, we'll talk to them, we may bring them home to their parents, talk to their parents, and calm things down before things become much more trouble, like a drive-by shooting, for example. If we can curb that before it becomes more serious, cool. And if we can bring a couple kids home and have their parents deal with them as opposed to have them catching charges, that much better. Because we know that once they catch charges, it's going to be very difficult, even if they go to college, for them to get a job. So it starts a cycle, and the crimes just get worse and worse because they have to support themselves. And we also serve as role models. We do a lot of martial arts training. We don't carry any weapons, no guns, no.
I was going to ask you about that. So you carry no weapons.
No weapons.
So what do you do if you get into a...
If we get into a fight, we do the best we can. We train a lot in martial arts. I personally have trained in Wing Chun style Kung Fu for 11 years. I taught it for another 3 years. And for the past 5 years, I've been doing Krav Maga, which is Israeli Special Forces fighting. And Krav Maga is, if you can think of the dirtiest form of street fighting, multiply that by 10, that's what we're doing.
Interesting.
And when we do it, we go 110%. So in the past 3 years, I've blown out my shoulder, had to have surgery, blew out my knee, had to have surgery. Blew out my neck, had to have surgery, and have sent quite a few people to the hospital that I trained with. So we train 100%. If you're interested in learning about that too, I'll give the website, oklahomacombatives.com. It's serious, hardcore training. It's not for the lighthearted. It's not a bunch of guys in pajamas going, hi-ya, hi-ya, hi-ya. It's pretty serious stuff. You should come by and take a class.
I should. Hey, so do you know that you have met somebody that was in the U.S. Open Kung Fu Championships in 2000 and actually got a first place and a second place medal?
Is that you?
Me.
Really?
Yes.
I did not know that. You definitely need to come fight with me.
It's been a while.
Doesn't matter.
But I was good back in my day. I'll tell you that right now.
Let's fight.
I don't want to fight you. You're already You're trying to start something with me, Brilbeck.
You get to punch
What's
me
going
in the face.
on?
It'll be awesome.
Okay.
Think
we'll
of how awesome that'll be.
Okay.
You remember back when we had Todd Tucker here and Frosty here. Mm-hmm. Frosty came and took a class. He was about 4 minutes into the class. He had to run outside and throw up. It was awesome.
I think that's where I would be right now. I used to do, CrossFit and all that stuff. Now I just kind of, it's like I garden.
Show off your butt on TV.
That's what I do. I would probably be more excited to show my butt off on TV if I actually did some lunges or something.
Come fight with us.
Yeah. Maybe I will.
You should go.
Maybe I will. We'll make that a story. Okay. All right. Anything else you want to tell the audience? So where do they find you? See, most of my guests, I say, where do they find you? And you say, I'm on News 9, but now you can't really do
that. Right now I'm on vacation, so you can't find me. I'm sure I'll be turning up somewhere pretty soon. Stay tuned.
All right. You can stalk him on Facebook.
You can stalk me on Facebook.
Yeah. All right. Well, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you
This
for
was
having
fun.
Me. It was a blast.
All right. We'll have to do it again.
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. All right. I'll be right back.
And now I make two and give one to you till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food. When you make choices, they also make you. Share the wealth beyond yourself and stay cool. Yeah, he needed dough, so he needed dough and made bread, but his customers didn't need it though. They had other places to go where they didn't have to see sap bases while taking a stroll. He was baking some rolls, making the most of his time.
Hello, basket of deplorables, ladies, gentlemen, those who are undecided. Todd Tucker back at the bunker, where I belong. And we want you to join us here at OTUmedia. Become a patron, a Patreon member. If you want true conservative messaging and not the same old corporate filtered news of Oklahoma, this is the place to be. Become a supporter, a soldier, a sergeant, a co-producer, even a sponsor. True conservatism lives here at OTUmedia. Go to patreon.com/OTUmedia, patreon.com/OTUmedia. This is where conservatism lives, and the fight is just beginning.
And now I make two and give one to you till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food. When you make choices, they also make you. Share the wealth beyond yourself.
Welcome back, and I just want to say thank you so much for joining me today. I know that you have other options on your Wednesday evenings, and I appreciate you joining me here. And I do want to remind you that you can support us by going to OklahomaTaxpayersUnite.com. We have a store there and lots of information, so it kind of tells you what it is that we do and what we support here. We support free speech and the real news, not the fake stuff. All right, I'll see you next week.
And now I make two and give one to you till your luck break through. Break bread like we did in grade school. I stay grateful for every plateful. Sit at my table, get some great food. When you make choices, they also make you. Share the wealth beyond yourself and stay cool.